Hi guys, Daymond here with Daymond and Company, technically inclined, creatively driven. I exist to inspire. And hey, I'm here for another Magnificent Mogul moment, and I have someone here with me, Miss Tina Brown.
Hello.
Hey, Tina.
Hey.
She is no stranger to Magnificent Mogul. She was
No.
actually here when I initially started Magnificent Mogul, and she's here again. I've been so fortunate to know Tina in the capacity of Faith Diva.
Yes. That's where we met.
That's
how
we met here.
We met here. Now, you need to tell them that video is probably like 20 pounds lighter.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to
So
that.
in case they say, no, she never. Yeah, I've been on it before, y'all. I really have.
She has. And now she's also affectionately known as Title Tina.
Who came up with that?
I came up
Who
with
created
that.
that monster? That's right.
And we're also going to talk about real drama media. So I'm so excited for this Magnificent Mogul episode. You don't want to miss this. And tell your friends all about this one.
Yes, trust me. I'm going to give you something to talk about.
So you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Fantastic. Let's get it going. All right, so we're back. And you know what? For this Magnificent Mogul episode, we're going to do something a little bit different. You're used to seeing me interview my guests, but Tina and I are going to do something kind of different. We're going to co-host this one.
We're going to co-host.
So we're doing five for five, right?
5 for 5.
So I ask you 5 questions and you ask me 5 questions, right? Because we want to make this really entertaining for everybody that's watching.
And I think people need to know about you. They need to know about you because you always grill us. But they need to know about
that's cool.
the man behind the legend.
I actually asked Tina to give me some of the hard questions. I don't mind a challenge.
Because you're an engineer and living in my profession.
I live to solve problems.
Yes.
So Tina, why don't I go ahead and introduce the 5 questions?
Okay.
I want to know, so I've been, again, I know you as Title Tina, I know you as Faith the Diva, but I want to know about Real Drama Media now.
Ooh, Real Drama Media. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a network that I just started.
Okay.
And you know, when I was putting it together, who better to help me with it?
Yeah.
When it comes to creative and branding than you.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a platform for small to mid-sized entrepreneurs to be able to advertise and reach the masses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay.
So something that is affordable, that was the main thing. Because when you go out there and look, you know, it takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
When it comes to advertising dollars.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, well, what can I possibly do? I love being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give everybody else
I can't
opportunity.
tell.
I love being in front of the camera. So I wanted to reach out to other people, give them the opportunity to do that too.
Yeah.
And be, not break the bank.
Got you.
That's how Real Drama Media came.
Got you. So your overall mission statement is really to just kind of get people starting out, primarily involved with real estate, correct?
Yes.
Right,
But
and
it's
advertising and marketing.
Marketing, it's even more than that. And in bringing you on the team, it's kind of the vision has expanded.
Well, of course, I've been known to do that.
You don't let people think small. You're like big picture, Tina. I mean, I looked at my little short-term mission, and you told me this is a long-term mission. I was like, dang, okay. He said that's a long-term mission.
Did you enjoy that experience, though?
I did.
Exactly, right?
You always tend to bring me out of the shell. I think this way, and then you have a way of getting me to go outside of my body and my comfort zone.
Absolutely. And that's the point. That's the point. Whenever we're branding, I think that it's an evolutionary journey, right? So I always try to get my clients to think that way.
How did you come into being when did you know you were a creative? When did that?
That's a wonderful question. You know what? I didn't expect for you to ask me that question, but I'm glad you did. Because this is something that I've been wanting to explain to people. So an issue that I see people have all the time with branding is that they tend to pull other people's brands into their brands, and that was never the case for me. I knew I was always a creative since I was about 5 years old. The problem that I had was accepting that I was a creative.
Wow.
I come from Opelousas, Louisiana. To be creative, you know how it is. If you have a God-given gift, you don't cherish that. That's something that you do.
Give it away.
You give it away. You give it away. You never really value that. So I remember being on a plane one day, and I was asking God. I said, God, can you please get me to understand what my purpose is?
Wow.
And I had gone back and forth maybe about a year asking myself that question, but I don't really think I was thinking what I was really asking. Like, you know how you ask God for stuff, but you're not really, you're not expecting an answer.
You don't expect an answer.
Yeah.
It's just something.
Yeah, this
was
time.
more of a rhetorical question.
It was more of a rhetorical question, but I remember I was trying to find my bearings in life. I was so after finding that answer that when I asked that question, I opened myself up to God, and I remember getting the answer back that you're a creator. You exist to create.
Wow.
And that's it. That's how. So when you ask me that question, but that's the answer. I can answer that question without a doubt. That is my purpose. I'm born to create.
And inspire.
And inspire.
Because you do that. Because you make people think outside of their box.
Absolutely.
That's deep.
I think everybody has a purpose, but more than that, you have several purposes. You just might have a main purpose. But most of us have purposes. It's our duty for ourselves to figure out what our purposes are.
Now, you have branched into so many different areas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever have, and this is something I struggle with because my brain tends to go so fast. I mean, I've been up at 3 o'clock in the morning for I don't know how long now because it never turns off. Yeah. And I think you're probably the same way.
Used to be.
Yeah, now I need to learn that. You got to teach me that trick. But people always tell you, you can be the jack of all trades and the master of nothing.
Yeah.
So when you have all these different businesses, like you trademarked the phrase plurapreneur.
I did.
I was so excited when I saw that. I was like, that's me.
Yeah.
That's because people always tell you, pick a lane.
Right.
But you go against the grain on that.
All the time. All the time. I'm not meant to follow anybody else's pattern except my own.
What advice would you give to someone that's like that? They feel like, okay, I can be good at this, I can be good at this, I have all these things, and then they have the world, which basically tells them, pick a lane. You can't be all these things. You need to pick one thing and just get good at that, and that's it.
The advice I have for that is people can tell you that all day long. They don't really have to tell you that because you're right. The world will tell you what your priorities are. So like, why not just come up with a list of things that you want to accomplish and then let your evolutionary path lead you where you really need to go? That's how I do it. Like I have a lot of things in my portfolio that I can do, but it's always a balancing act of priority setting.
And bandwidth.
And bandwidth.
I learned that term from you.
And
I tell people now in a minute, I'm sorry, I don't have the bandwidth.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's right. I don't have the bandwidth.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to say no.
Don't say no.
Do not be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid of hurting anybody's feelings because, at the end of the day, Tina, you got to protect your feelings first. Like if my feelings are hurt, then I'm coming to you to help you for something. I can't operate at my 100%.
That's true.
So I have to figure out, how to fix myself before I can fix you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hence life coaching. Which he is a life coach as well.
I am. So let's go back to Real Drama Media.
Yes.
And I kind of have the same question for you. So you asked me, but I have the feeling that you are now balancing, and you have 3 things to balance. You have 3 things to balance. You have Faith Diva, you have Title Teen, you have Real Drama Media. So I'm gonna ask you this question in a different way though. What are your current challenges? What can you tell people that you are experiencing now? What are the challenges that you recently faced and you overcame? How did you fix it? Because you can explain that to people watching. How did you fix your problems?
They're not fixed. That's it. I'm just gonna tell you, they are not fixed. Half the time I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Okay.
But It's a balancing act constantly because it's down to time management.
Gotcha.
And I had the opportunity to sit with a life coach not so long ago that was telling me about prioritizing things.
Yep.
And so that's what I've learned to do, is to prioritize things. I think the hardest thing is, especially being when you're a woman and a mom, is making sure you have time to put your family in there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's the tough part.
Okay.
So the way I've done it now is to learn to say no, because I was overloading my plate. I was saying yes to everything that came, and then a wise man once said, "Not everybody is worth your time."
No, absolutely, that's
and
true.
So I just
That's
I don't do that anymore. So I'm very protective of my time, and I've noticed in doing that, though, what has happened is that my circle has gotten smaller.
Yeah,
it has. Yeah. So I haven't actually accomplished that of balancing it and keeping it all together. I think it's just a matter of managing it.
Got you. Okay.
So I'm not balanced. I'm just managing the chaos.
Gotcha.
I like that term.
I like that too.
Managing the chaos.
I like that too.
So I'm not balancing it. I'm just managing the chaos.
Gotcha. What's the first lesson that has fallen out of managing the chaos?
If something screws up, it's all right. It's not the end of the world.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I learned. It is
like
not
that.
the end of the world. Because sometimes you may drop the ball on something, but guess what?
Yeah.
Another ball is going to be falling out the sky. That's not going to be the first or the last time you drop a ball.
That's how I see it too. I remember when I was struggling, just always trying to balance. I had to one day just wake up and say, listen, nobody died today.
Exactly.
Nobody died today because of,
Nobody died today. Okay, Gabriel needs clean underwear, but he's alive.
Right.
I fed him.
Right, yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
died today. I didn't get a chance I forgot to do laundry.
Yeah.
So I've just learned that, some things you just have to learn to just say, you know what, it happened.
Yeah.
And move past it. Because I would take things so personal. Everything was so personal. It was either like an attack on me, or I felt like I was less than, or because I always felt the need to be perfect. And now I'm learning it's okay not to be perfect. We are not perfect. Just manage the chaos.
I get you. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a short break right here, and we'll be back with more questions with Tina and myself. Introducing Daymond and Company online. DaymondCO.com. I'm rebranding, and that means that all roads lead to Daymond & Company online. In order to get to know more about me, the inspirational products that I provide, and the plethora of services that I offer, start right there at DaymondCompany.com. But just because I'm rebranding doesn't mean that I'm going to stop providing the wonderful creative services that I always have. If you're interested in getting started with taking your brand to the next level today, go to DaymondCreative.com. There you will find out just how creative we can be with your brand. I even offer brand consultation and brand coaching services there. But you know what? Maybe you have a larger vision for yourself. Maybe there's a version of you that you know exists, but you just don't know how to get there. Well, visit me online at Plurapreneur.com. There you will find out how we can get started with creating a new version of you. Let's get started with your evolution at Plurapreneur.com. 3 wonderful ways to get in touch with me. DaymondCO.com, DaymondCreative.com, Plurapreneur.com. I'm Daymond, technically inclined, creatively driven. I exist to inspire. I look forward to working with you. All right, and we're back with Magnificent Mogul, again with Tina Brown and myself, Daymond, with Daymond & Company. We got some more questions to get answered. So go ahead, Tina, shoot. What other question you got for me?
Yes. Now, I got to ask.
I hope it's challenging.
It is. I got to ask about this whole rebranding.
Yes, ma'am. What do you got to ask?
Who brought that on?
Oh, my God. So you alluded to it earlier when you asked me, you said, well, how do I manage so many different things?
Yes.
That's part of it.
Really?
That's part. I'm only rebranding to make things more manageable.
Okay, now you have to explain that to me though, because most people think, okay, it's just a name change, it's just the color, but you're pretty much keeping the same aesthetics of the company, the colors and things like that, but.
Well, not really. Not really.
When
you think about when you think about it, so you know me now as Daymond and Company, but when you initially knew me, you knew me as Perimeter Zen.
I sure did.
Yeah, and then right after that, you knew me as Moksha Media. And then right after that, you knew me as Agents DFW.
I know him as a lot of things.
Okay, so that's too many things, right? That's too many things. So I was like, you know what? People are starting to get to know me. They know my businesses, but I'm behind 3 different businesses.
Yeah.
I need to be behind one business that pushes out different aspects of the business.
Wow.
So that's different. That's more manageable, right?
So all those things, it is. So all those things fall under Daymond.
They do. And the color schema, so back to what you were alluding to, the colors that you see now, those colors will carry throughout all the businesses that used to have different brands.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the way I'm gonna manage.
That.
Yeah.
And I saw the website.
Yeah, yes,
which
ma'am.
I love it.
Yes, ma'am.
Love it. Absolutely love it. What advice would you give to an entrepreneur that feels like they've outgrown their brand? And do you think that's actually possible?
I don't really believe it's possible to outgrow your brand. So I hope I don't offend anybody by saying what I'm about to say, but if you feel like you've outgrown your brand, then you probably haven't nurtured your brand to the fullest potential. Because a brand is meant to evolve.
Right.
A brand is meant to evolve. And honestly, the best brands just keep evolving. I mean, let's think about Coca-Cola, Nike, Gucci. Let's think about, so a lot of things don't really change. They have a very, very solid, consistent brand, but different aspects under that brand changes and evolves.
Unless you're like Coke, where they screwed up on that rebranding they had to go back. Remember when they did that? They had to go back to the original drawing board. So I think there's something to be said about that.
But I think that's a good point, because they may have felt like they outgrew their brand and they didn't. So they were pulling the trigger on something they really didn't have to do. They just had to evolve the current brand.
And then they went back. Now, but what about people that don't have Coca-Cola money? Now, Coca-Cola had the money to go in and do all of that. What's the best advice you would give them?
Well, so everybody has a brand. So again, you know what they say about excuses.
No, I was hoping you would use this phrase where you said, everybody has a brand, and if you don't know your brand, it's because what? Someone else is controlling the narrative.
Well, that's it.
I love that.
Exactly. And
I love that.
And that's how people should think about it. So again, there is no excuse to say that you don't have enough money for a brand because you already got one. So just use whatever money that you have to do something. Everybody has a Facebook page. Everybody has an Instagram page. Everybody has some form of social media. That's where you start, right? That's where you start. You have a Pinterest page. So maybe that's a good way to start, right? So if you're confused about your brand, I never thought about that until now. But like if I was trying to create my brand, I probably would just go to Pinterest and say, hey, what's all the things that I like? And then get some opinions from people and say, hey, does this match this? Do you think this match my brand? And then guess what? You're pulling the thread for your total brand just by collecting stuff on a website.
I like that because I know, realtors come to me for branding and things. And you know what I have them do? I have them go to their family and their friends and say, ask them what their impression of you and what they think. And I said, you might actually be surprised about what they actually say.
Yes.
And they always are.
Yeah.
They always are.
Yeah. What advice? So let me ask you. So I think that's a good point that you made. But when someone is, I guess, attempting to, land on their business, figure out where they're going next in life, what is your specific advice based on your experience? How do you manage all the feedback that you're getting from people when you're trying to find your way forward in life?
I don't listen to them.
Okay.
I really don't. For me, it's all about, I pray, and I kind of listen, go with guidance that way. So I kind of go now. It used to be, because if you listen to a bunch of different opinions, you get a lot of noise and static, and you end up being confused. And I find a lot of times it's just like when you're, and you know this probably better than anyone, just like you said a few minutes ago, everybody wants to try to make their brand fit someone else's brand because of what they see. And then you end up looking like, that's not who you are. That's not really who you are.
Right.
And because it's just like with Faith Diva, I've watched Faith Diva evolve over the years and the growth that's come out of that. From where I started. You know, I started out doing jewelry. Now we do apparel. And now we just, you know, I just finished writing that book, and I'm thinking, you know, and part of that is just surrounding myself with people like you that has, you know, made it to where it's okay. Okay, Tina, you don't have to just focus on one thing. It's okay for you to do a bunch of different things.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So the best advice I would give to them is do what let it be flow. Don't force anything. Let everything be flow. Operate at that vibrate high. I call it frequency. I go to bed now, listen to frequency noises.
Oh, really?
I love it.
Good. Have you noticed a change in like your thinking patterns?
Yes.
Okay. That's
I actually have.
That's good.
I really have. Doing the affirmations.
Yeah.
And I never really thought about all this stuff. And I think as African Americans, a lot of times, you know, they'll talk to us about, you know, that's that hoodoo.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that anymore.
Yeah.
Mama, don't call me.
Yeah.
Don't call me, Cheryl. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, the God, the Father, all of that. We love the Lord. But I understand that we have a lot of power. Yeah. Our mind is a very powerful thing.
I'm glad you said that, and because I try to fold in spirituality and everything and things that I do too, and that speaks to your growth. So I'm glad that you actually.
Yes.
I think I'm glad that you mentioned that here, because I think sometimes we mix religion and you know, our belief in God, in not understanding how much God has given us to use to evolve us, right? So, so I think we sometimes have to think about, you know, practice what we've heard. You know, God made us in His image, so
thank you.
We're meant to evolve.
What does that say?
We're meant to evolve. Yeah,
we're meant to evolve, and we have certain power. We have the same power. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And I think that to me, a lot of times, religion it's bondage.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't know. I probably should have went there with that, but it's there, and I think it has bound a lot of people.
It depends.
And it has limited their growth.
It has, and you know, religion is a very, very powerful thing. But again, it's one of those tools that we have to pull into our tool belt and use it to benefit us, not to really chain us, right? So, and that's the main point, right?
Faith without works is dead. They said, man, don't work, you don't eat. So that tells you what. You have to do something.
Absolutely. Take action.
You have to take action.
Take action.
And be in movement. So it's definitely with growth. And I actually think that has a lot, has helped with my brand in a sense that it has evolved as I've evolved.
It should.
The growth is.
It should.
There's no way a couple years ago I'd have had a big old hot pink brand logo. I went to you said, it's got to be black.
And guess what? All your pink pictures are the best pictures on. Every time I see a social media, I'm like, those are your best. Those are your branded. Yes, it is.
Black was my favorite color.
No, black is your favorite color as your formal engagement. Hey, I'm going to an event. That's part of your brand.
Yeah, I buy more pink
your
than
pink
anybody.
brand is your brand.
I think
that is the one that it stands out every time I see you.
But
that
you
stands out.
Pink.
I did because that was your aura. Because that was your aura.
Like, what this dude doing this big old pink? Look, what big pink circle? Oh, it's got to be black, dude. I need it to be black.
Well, everybody knows Title Tina now because of that pink.
I'm telling you, I've had people gift me hot pink things, and they said they cannot. Yeah. This is the power of branding, y'all.
It is, yeah.
They can't even see pink. They said, when I see pink,
they think of you.
I think of Tyler Tina. I'm like, oh, it's working.
So that's the point.
That's what I said. Think pink.
Think pink.
They said they see it and they like, I think of you instinctively as Tyler Tina, that pink. And I'm thinking, I never would have picked myself to be pink.
But that's the power.
You did it.
That's the power of branding, but that's also the power of having a person in branding helping you.
That's a
I'm supposed to see the things that you don't see. Yeah. And then what I'm looking for is insertion points for where you are actually kind of vibing with what I'm picking out for you. So remember when you got that logo, I sent you alternatives.
You did.
I sent you alternatives.
Yes.
But I'm talking about even for Faith Diva.
Yes.
We kind of went back and forth, and I think I offered my opinion, and I was like, this red is really strong.
Yeah, it was.
Because I don't get that from your personality at all. Like every time I talk to you, I'm like, you're not red.
No,
you're not a red person.
No, I'm not a red person.
I know red people.
You know, we all do.
Yeah, I'm like you're not a red person.
I did say a couple too.
Right. So Tina, so we're actually, I guess, getting closer to the end now. So I want to know, what's next? What's next for you?
Look, when you find out, please tell me. I don't know. I have no idea. Actually, I'm looking forward to. I think people are going to notice with Real Drama Media, they're going to actually see that brand evolve, and it's going to actually be a platform and a portal for a lot of real estate professionals and small-time businesses to actually grow their businesses.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
I'm looking forward to actually seeing brands grow and develop because of RDM there, and because you're coming on as a chief creative officer. So they
surprise.
I left cat out the bag.
It's okay.
Dang it. He's a CCO, so know it's gonna be some bad brains.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm glad you made that announcement.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited about it.
Because y'all, we got some projects coming.
Yeah, we got a lot of projects
coming. I'm so excited
coming.
about. Oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're getting the website lined up. We got the logo out there. We just got some major things happening. I came on board to, of course, relieve Tina.
Yes.
So we've been working on a lot of things. I want to help to embrace where she's headed with what I do, and then I want Tina to focus on CEO.
Yes.
Tina's.
I'm CEO. Head Negro in charge. Hey, I'm gonna put that on my card, y'all. I ain't gonna put CEO on my card.
No.
HNIC.
There you.
You're gonna be like, I can see myself getting to a category. What does that stand for?
Exactly. And I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna run in there and swap the cards.
That's a branding no, right?
Y'all like, wait.
HNIC. I'm gonna put that on every time.
Right, let me go snatch that up.
What's your position? HNIC.
Right, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
No, we're gonna do that. I won't do that. Y'all know, no, you wouldn't let me do that anyway.
Heck no.
He is my brand coach, so no.
Yeah, no, that would never happen. She know that.
So I gotta find out what's next for you now. You gotta tell us.
What's next for me, Tina? I'm gonna continue to evolve Daymond and Company. So as recently as yesterday, it's Daymond and Company Enterprises officially now, right? So it just happened.
He gonna keep evolving until you turn into a phoenix. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So I have Daymond and Company Enterprises now. So I'm still rebranding. I'm folding the businesses under Daymond and Company, but of course, by me doing that and being able to manage, I will also be able to help you in a CCO role. Because honestly, Tina, I'm telling you, for me, it looks like I'm doing a lot, but I heavily manage everything just as a systems engineer would. So I'm a creative, but I'm still very much so
yes, he is.
a systems engineer at the core. Yeah, when we're talking business, I need for you to give me some spreadsheets, some PowerPoint files, some drawings.
Yeah, I know.
And she can tell you.
Yes, I got one the other day. I'm like,
we sat down. Look, I'm like, I got your logo done, but here's your branding guide.
It was a book. It was no guide. It was a book. A guide is a pamphlet.
Yeah, but I really
this was flipping pages.
I live by what I preach, right? So, but it's always an evolution. You had never seen me give anyone a branding guide,
no.
But we've started operating on that level. So I was like, if we're gonna do that, then you need a branding guide from me as the chief creative officer. Like, what capacity would I be operating in if you had not gotten that from me?
Oh my God!
Right?
Short term, long term, and now I went there and said, okay, I guess let me hear him finish this business plan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you'll get that question next week. Yeah.
See,
so,
didn't I tell you? Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So Tina, tell everybody how they can reach you online.
Oh, this is awesome. You can actually reach me at, there's like 6 handles.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's Title Tina.
Yeah.
There's Title.Tina. You can find me on Facebook under Faith Diva and Title Tina. And then my website is TitleTinaTalks.com.
Fantastic.
And FaithDiva.com and Real Drama Media.
Real Drama Media. Yeah, that's coming soon. Yes. Coming really, really soon. We were talking about the website today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were.
Cut. I didn't know that was coming.
No, we
were talking about the website.
Not on camera. We got some business.
We got business to do. So you guys, I am really, let me tell you, if you haven't reached out to Daymond for any of your branding needs, this is the guy to see.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I have grown so much just from knowing him and Stan, the cameraman in the back that y'all
He's
can't
back
see.
there. Yeah,
Back
you
there.
can't see him. Yeah.
Go way better. But definitely, you need to tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Especially if you want to take your brand to a whole nother level.
Well, if you want to take your brand to another level, then you can reach me online at daymondcreative.com. So it's my first name and creative.com. You can also go to my personal brand website at daymondco.com. So that's where Daymond Enterprises starts.
I love that word, enterprise.
And of course, you could always Google me, Daymond and Company. If you Google that, you'll see a bunch of handles. Facebook, Daymond and Company. Twitter, Daymond and Company. And Instagram, Daymond and Company. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
As always.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we did this on camera.
I am too. We shoot it fat forever.
I know.
But you guys, stay tuned. There's so much more to come.
Stay tuned and thank you so much for watching.